Welcome back to another episode of the Let's Go Coffee podcast.
Yeah.
We are here again today. We're really excited for another episode. We have Costco as a special guest, but the most special guest is Ben. Here, hanging out with us. Bookstore Ben.
Hey.
Is that what we call him? No.
How do you know? No.
Is that your nickname?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's what they called me.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That would have been a crazy.
Some people do call me that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Bookstore
But, you know, alliteration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Makes
usually
sense.
just say Ben from the bookstore.
That's better. That's nice. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I just call him Ben Iced Americano Ben because it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, that's what I get.
it's the drink.
That's what he's drinking now.
That's what I'm having
It's a
right
good
now.
drink.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Hi, Ben. Welcome.
Hi.
Hanging
Yeah.
out with us.
Welcome. I'm trying to think how we met Ben originally.
He just started coming here.
Let me hear it from your perspective because
Yeah,
from our
yeah.
perspective, one day you were in here coming through, getting a drink, and like obviously like one thing we actually were recently talking about, just so you know too. A lot of people will come to us and they're like, "You guys are only here a few months now, and do you have regulars?"
Right.
And I'm like, "We do."
Yeah.
And when I think of regulars, I have a handful of people that I think about, and you're definitely like one of them
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
because you are in here
Yeah.
a lot and you get the same drink just about every time. And so I just wanted to hear from like your perspective because like for
Sure.
people watching, they don't really know. So obviously like introduce yourself, what you do, all these things. But how did you initially hear about us or see? Obviously you're like literally within vision,
Right.
like you could see us, but your experience with that. Would love to kind of introduce yourself to everybody and
Yeah.
how you heard about us.
I think it was probably at the. I think you guys had your food truck thing
Mhm.
We did.
at the.
Yes.
At the same event.
The
Yeah.
Emmaus Art and Vintage event that I put
Yes.
together with the salon people next door.
That's right.
So I think that's probably originally where. And then, what was it? Maybe like 5 months later or so, you opened the shop here.
Right.
Mhm.
So, yeah, and I mean, I'm like 500 feet or less, I guess, from here, and I like coffee, so yeah, it's an easy equation. Yeah.
I love it. And then for those that like don't know anything, right? Because like even I didn't initially even know what you did until I went over there, and I was like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh! So just for people to know, what is it that you do? What's the business that you have over here? Just so people kind of have an idea.
Sure. Yeah, it's called Apport Used Books. It's a bookstore. I'm the owner / basically the person who runs it all the time with
You're
some
right.
some exceptions. I mean I kind of focus on weird, interesting books. We could maybe get into that at some point, what
For
they
sure.
are, but so, you know, it's kind of a balance between like a old-fashioned used bookstore and a more like specialized, curated collection of interesting stuff.
I love that. I
Yeah.
guess the biggest question, which we ask most people who come on our show and like just like tell us what they're doing, how did you get into this?
Yeah.
How did this begin? Why did this begin? You know, why are you doing it now? All those things.
Yeah, people do ask me that a lot.
I'm sure. Yeah.
And I don't really, I mean, I guess the answer is I was a collector of books, and that's kind of how, I mean, I think most people get into if they start their own thing, they get into it through being an appreciator of that thing before. So I kind of got into it by having a certain sort of book or object that I like, and then getting too many of that thing and deciding to start a sort of side project of
What do you do with
selling
all of
it.
the stuff?
Yeah, selling stuff, and eventually, you know, I did it on like some of the online marketplaces at first, like back when I was in college even, and stuff like that. But eventually I ended up in like 2018 or so starting an Instagram account called Apport Used Books, which was named after a publishing endeavor I had before that.
Okay.
And so it kind of it's originally started as like the secondhand / I don't know, book selling like wing of a small press kind of thing that I had, but I ended up getting away from the publishing thing because it's not fun or good to do. It's stressful. I got back into it since starting the bookstore, but publishing like living writers is a nightmare. And so I'm more interested in like archival stuff now. But anyway, yeah, so it started online on Instagram, and somehow just through, obsessive will, I kind of just built a following on there, and it got to the point where, I would go to events and sell at events, and it just stopped making sense to be a mail order business entirely, even though it's still about half that. I kind of decided that at first a base of operations like an office was what I was thinking, but after some things fell through, this spot over here opened up, and it was kind of perfect size and location. And as far as the Lehigh Valley goes, it's pretty ideal for my purposes. It's not super hard to get to. It's a decent size, and all kinds of stuff happened between those details, but that's kind of the general scope of it. Yeah.
You also, it is a very cool spot, I would say.
Thanks.
You walk in and you're like, I didn't expect it to look like the way it did.
Yeah.
That way, I guess.
The size struck me first time. You see it and you're like, oh, okay, there's a window and a door.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden you get in and it's like there's not only depth, but there's like height.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's huge.
It's huge, dude. Yeah, for like what you're doing in there. Because use bookstore in my head, I'm thinking like, you need a little space, obviously some shelving, whatever.
Yeah.
But I just didn't quite think it was like, the depth and the height that it could, that it is.
Yeah, it's the old bank building. So it's tall ceilings in there, bunch of apartments upstairs. Whoever was there before me kind of put in some interesting sort of odd fixtures that I probably wouldn't have done, but that I kind of have grown to like. Like weird columns and stuff, and like these spotlights.
Sure.
It all kind of ended up working for my purposes. Yeah.
Cool. So go ahead.
No, sorry, real fast. I was just going to say, because you said kind of like the valley, perfect spot. Like, are you originally from this area?
Yeah, I'm from Allentown.
From Allentown, okay.
Yeah. Spent some time away for school and then grad school. Wanted to have something in the Lehigh Valley that was weird and kind of interesting. I felt like, when I was first thinking of opening a physical space for the shop and like just pre-pandemic, I was looking at maybe around here, maybe Philly, maybe like, who knows, but I kind of settled on wanting, specifically Allentown, but it just didn't end up there. And Emmaus and Allentown, they're kind of, they're not the same, but they're very, there's a lot of crossover.
Sure,
It's kind of the same thing in some ways. So, yeah.
I find it interesting. I do like to read, but I follow you on Instagram, and I see like the books that you post, and I know nothing about any of these books. Like anything that I would pick up to read is more of like either like a biography or like a I don't know, not a self-help book, but like a business book or something that's like different. I don't do a ton of reading, but the books that you find, I know that it has to be a skill that you know what something is, a value, things like that, and then just like what it is, and it's just like another world. It's something I don't know anything about. It's like a group of people I don't know anything about, like that whole thing. So how did you how did you learn all of that?
Yeah.
Or like what drew you towards it? And really, what is it? What do you find for anybody watching? Like what kind of books do you look for?
Sure. It's it's always evolving, and being in this business, you're always learning too. So it's not that I'm like a expert on anything. It's you kind of get a certain sense for the history in general of publishing and in different areas, and again, that's still something I'm learning all the time. And I have friends in the business who are much more knowledgeable than me in certain areas and in general. So it's, but I guess, I mean, maybe if you're not interested in it in the way that like a bookseller would be, it probably looks pretty crazy from the outside. And
I'm just like, I never even knew some of these books like ever existed.
Yeah.
they are kind of crazy books, but like just in a unique way. Like, so what would the genres be that you would classify it as even?
Right. That's hard too. Even when people like in the business ask me like what my specialties are, it's kind of just what I find interesting at any given time. The shop is very tied to my development as a person and my interests. So I'm kind of like lately, for example, I'm really interested in like 40s and 50s mail order, like self-help stuff. Okay. So like people who would just like send these kind of publications out about like how to be a better person, you know, or like how to develop psychic abilities, like stuff, you know, all this crazy stuff. And so I'm always kind of interested in people who are in some way unique, or it's hard to say. Like it kind of just spans what my interests are at any given time. And some of them are consistent, like UFO books I like. But generally it's like 20th century stuff or earlier. I kind of hover around the 20th century though.
So you find them
at
like estate sales? Like how do
Probably
you find
online?
Online?
A lot?
I do. Like there's no singular way. Pretty much everything. Like anything you can imagine is how they come into being.
Okay.
So I usually just say like they fall out of a hole in the ceiling.
And land on your shelf.
Perfectly alphabetized.
No, definitely not.
No. That's my design.
I wish.
So you just find them like in your life, like every day. Other bookstores or
other bookstores,
people, like yard sales, things like that.
Getting to know other booksellers is essential, like, and knowing what they like and they knowing what you like. So sort of having this ecosystem is really important, at least for me, because there is, you know, it's competitive in some ways, but there's also a sort of camaraderie about the business, especially if you're dealing with people who are sort of into the same thing as you, but with maybe a slightly different sort of interest. So other booksellers, estate sales are tough, but sure, like they're great. Pretty much any kind of thing you could imagine is where they come from. Online is obviously huge, but you're competing with the entire world when you're looking at stuff on there, so you're not going to get the best deal necessarily. Or if there is a deal, somebody who has more time might find it first, you know. So you find the books, or you get them somehow, and then you resell them, or not. They don't always sell. But then so like what type of person would come into your shop? Like what would they be looking for? Like any type of book, something specific? Do you have regulars? I do have regulars. And I've gotten to know people. It's interesting because like I'm somewhere between being like an not antiquarian, but like a specialized bookstore and like a sort of walk-in open store with hours.
I will say a lot of people, when we say we're in the Emmaus Triangle, they say, oh, you're by the bookstore. That's like almost what everybody says. So they know your bookstore more than anything else in the Triangle.
That's great.
They always say, oh, you're near the bookstore. Isn't there a bookstore there?
Almost like more than the Emmaus Theater, they say that.
Yeah, I would say.
Well, there's another bookstore up the street. Maybe they mean that one.
No, I don't know, because they know like which one you are. So
so I would agree though. It is an interesting thing because I'm sorry to interrupt you. Just to his point, it is kind of like I remember I walked in for the first time, already having known you come here a bunch or whatever. But like I walked in and like I was like, oh, okay, there's books, and then as you get like farther in, you're like, whoa, these are weird, just different books. Like
you're
like, oh, I've never. You know, you don't go to Barnes and Nobles and you see like that section of books, you know, or whatever. And I'm like, oh, interesting. Okay, it's like antique-y, collection-y. I don't know how to explain it, but like it's different. At least from what I've experienced.
It is more specialized, like you're saying.
For sure.
So
I mean, and I try to have like, I mean, I don't have much to do with like popular fiction from like right now. Not to say that like there's anything wrong with it either. It's just I don't have an interest in it, and so I don't know the market. Same with like kids books, which is like the biggest thing that somebody asks.
Okay.
Like when they walk in and I say I don't really have it.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll get like a crazy weird like gnome book from like the 1920s, which was for children.
Okay.
But which I'm not going to be like, yeah, here's this $100 gnome book.
Yeah. Right.
So I just like kind of say no, I don't really have it.
Right.
So in some ways it's like, but I do have like, you know, classic literature, like the stuff you're supposed to read.
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
As a person, I try to have that stuff. So it's kind of like a balancing act between catering to what I hope is a clientele that is interested in like the stuff I'm interested in.
Sure.
And then also having stuff that a person who just wants to read can walk in and be interested in.
Okay.
Or, you know, subject books like gardening books,
Sure.
History, politics. Like I try to have a wide array of stuff while still not selling anything that I don't think is interesting.
Right. Yeah.
I love that. I think it's really cool. I just think
really
it's
cool,
a very
honestly.
interesting thing. And so okay, and so like
I'm also kind of envious that you can just close and lock your door and be over here in 5 minutes.
I don't even lock the door. I do close it, yeah.
he's like
It's always open.
well, you just show up. Like when we show up, we have to like brew coffee.
Yeah, there's always a setup process.
No, I
there's
lock
always
the
a
door at
cleanup
night.
process.
But
Yeah, right.
There's still light out there.
But if I'm going to get coffee, I don't know. And, you know,
Yeah,
do people steal from the shop? Yeah, it's happened.
sure.
But am I worried about it? Not really.
Yeah.
Like, and if I'm gone for 5 minutes, yeah,
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, this town's pretty
Safe around here. Yeah.
generally speaking. I mean, I'm sure things happen, but you know.
Yeah.
No, it does happen. But
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, stuff like, I mean, we don't need to give anybody any ideas, but you have small things in your shop too. That's
Yeah.
easy to just kind
They
of
could
like
fit
slip
in your pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
you
But,
should, you
Right.
should steal them.
yeah. Which, yeah.
No, you shouldn't steal them.
But I'm kind of like, okay, well, if that's the case and that's what you feel like you need to do, like maybe you really needed that item, I guess, or something. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
But, okay, so the bookstore. So you read a lot then yourself?
Probably more than the average person, but not as much as some people.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's kind of like an occupational hazard that it's hard to finish books because there's just
Sure.
always ones at hand that I'm interested in that I'd like to read. So I've been trying to finish more books lately.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't read that many novels anymore, or I kind of just read insane specific things just because it seems interesting.
Yeah. But so is most of it like, I think I saw you posting a picture at one point about like lobotomies or something.
That's possible.
Is it probably?
But so I was like, is it something like they're like science books? So it would be somebody
Yeah.
would learn, like it was like an old like textbook or something, or is it more so like fantasy where it's like this is a made up story? You know, let
Yeah.
me just tell
Well, I
you the
have
story
both.
about something. So just a mixture of everything.
Oh yeah, no, I don't. I have a lot of old science books. I do these catalogs, which are kind of like my higher end things,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll send them around to like other dealers, to like librarians who are trying to build a collection. But also like anyone can buy the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I did one about headaches recently,
Okay.
and so you might have seen something. I don't think I had any truly lobotomy specific items in there,
Mm-hmm.
but it's something that people with certain types of headaches certainly consider, I think.
Sure. Or have considered, I
yeah.
guess.
Yeah, I guess they're not available anymore. Yeah, so there's a lot of science, and
Mm-hmm.
especially outdated science. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not getting
mhm.
textbooks from, like, 2021.
Right.
Or, like, things that'll be taught in college. It's more like a curiosity kind of thing, I think.
Okay.
Or collectors. Like, there are people who collect scientific books,
Mhm.
from the history of science to now. Yeah, and of course I do, like, I try to have a good selection of, like, science fiction and
Mm-hmm.
fantasy and novels. So,
Sure.
yeah, it's a little bit of both. And they're mostly divided into sections. Yeah.
Cool.
So, sort of switching gears a little bit,
Yeah.
but just in the same vein here, like you said, obviously this kind of went from like just like an interest of yours, which clearly hasn't diminished. Like it's still continuing.
No, it's gotten worse. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Sure. I do this for a living now.
Yeah.
So there's that. But then when was the moment where it kind of shifted from like, oh, I'm doing this just for fun? Like, because there was a point where you were like making no money from it. If anything, you were probably spending money.
Right.
To like, now you're like, oh, this is like a career. Like, did you ever, and I guess that follow-up question is like, did you ever see yourself being like a business owner? Like, was that something like that you expected, or is it kind of just like you fell into it sort of, or I don't know. Like,
yeah.
When did that switch for you?
I guess when I started the Instagram account, which is a funny thing to say, like that's how the business started, but whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, in this day and age, it's
the
way,
right?
You have quite the following over there.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah, but it always feels like my following is like almost like a hostage to some corporation. So that's not great, but yeah, sure. I do owe them that. Yeah.
Fair enough.
It kind of switched gears. I don't know. Yeah, I guess, I mean, when the store opened in 2021 is when I was like, oh, because I was also teaching. I was adjuncting, teaching English at Penn State. And yeah.
A professor then?
Yeah. I mean, no, it's an instructor.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of complicated. That's its own whole can of worms about the, distinction between a part-time faculty at a college and like a full professor.
Mm-hmm. Right. Fair enough.
And so I was on the short end of the stick there.
Fair enough.
So I was doing that and sort of shaping the hours of the shop around my time there. And then eventually, just recently, I quit after starting to shape my hours of teaching around the shop more. And I was like, well, I could really just make up the money that I'm making from this at the shop. And whether that's true or not remains to be seen. But so I think, I mean, yeah, this is all I'm doing now. And it was kind of all I was doing for the last 3 or 4 years with some supplemental income from teaching. But I don't know.
So you opened during the pandemic.
I did, yeah. Well, I don't know. Are we still in it? Like, I can't.
We might still be in it.
Yeah, we might still be. We don't really know.
They never said it was over.
True, yes.
But I guess it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks for years now.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of people that we have talked to, and a lot of businesses have started either because of the pandemic or during like the pandemic, or
it's true.
Things have changed around that. So it goes back
Right.
to the same conversation. We've had this conversation multiple times on the podcast. Is like that pandemic changed a lot for a lot of people.
It did.
And so you decided to open a bookstore in 2021, which is bold.
Yeah.
Because things were still shut down at that point.
Yeah, it's weird. I know other people who did as well, and other businesses generally. It can't just be like the extra $1,000 we got as stimulus. It's not that.
Yeah, that only goes so far.
I think that people spent a lot of time alone and thinking about what they want to do. And so I don't know if that was it for me. For me, I had kind of like a health thing happen that kind of like rearranged my mind and life in 2021. So well after the pandemic was already begun, it was in a separate thing. And after that, I was kind of like, well, I might as well, just open the shop.
Yeah.
So, why not?
Just go for it.
And so it was really kind of the result of a pretty horrible time in my life personally that kind of ended up being a good thing.
Something
in
good
some
came
ways.
out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, the pandemic thing is interesting. And I feel like we're just exiting that period of history. I feel like the pandemic era ended sometime recently, and now we're in this new chapter.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how conducive that's going to be to small businesses, or basically single person businesses in my case.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It shook up a lot of things.
Yeah.
Even basic things like customer predictability.
Yeah.
Like today, it's a rainy Wednesday in Emmaus, and we were super busy. Then there's a beautiful day, and it's quiet here. It's a very weird. Then you don't really know if people are going to come in the morning, are they going to come in the afternoon, are they going to are they going to buy something? Are they not going to buy something? You know, it's like, it is, you know, so even just people in our type of, in like this type of business has changed everything. COVID has just, the working from home scene, the whole, people have a lot more flexibility in their time, like that whole it just changed everything.
For sure. Yeah.
But yeah, so people come to your shop, they come in, they look at books. So you also have I've seen you do other things. I guess Costco's leaving us.
Oh yeah, he can go.
He's probably a little warm. So he's going to just
he's probably just going to find the floor somewhere.
And he's going to go lay on the floor somewhere.
Good job, Costco.
Thanks for coming.
He really does blend in with the furniture.
Yeah, that was intentional, actually.
It looks good.
We got a pumpkin spice couch for a pumpkin spice dog.
That's right. Yeah. Very basic.
So funny.
So you have other books and other bookshelves available in other places too. So like you were talking about catalogs, like what other ways, other than just walking in and purchasing a book, like what are other ways people can support your business and other ways that you know, grow your business and expand outward to other people?
Recently, like within the last 2 years, I've been trying to focus a little bit more on like the higher end aspect of the business. So like the catalogs and the antiquarian or rare stuff. So
you actually put together a catalog?
Yeah, they're not physical, although people have asked me to print them.
But it's kind of like an email.
It's like I make a
newsletter
PDF
thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So usually like 30 to 70 something items that I try to photograph nicely and describe as properly as I can. So that's nice. I mean, it's sort of just like a more fleshed out version of what I do on Instagram, which is just photograph a book and post it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then, I'm kind of exploring other avenues to figure out where to access people who are interested in this stuff because social media has changed, and the business itself is always changing. So, like publishing, I'm doing some like archival reissues of like weird out of print stuff. I've been doing some auctions with this cool local auction group, stuff like that.
Cool.
So just trying as many different ways as I can to see where the business goes, while keeping it relatively the same as it was when it started.
Sure.
Yeah.
I did want to ask, I think it's interesting to that point that, so for example, just to give an example, Mandy's dad was a race car driver. This is actually some photos of his right here.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And he used to do that years ago. And he has a way of like, we're out and about and he'll just see something and know that's value.
Totally.
Or not. Right. And I feel like in my mind, I don't possess that. Like maybe about some things, but not quite. Like it feels like it's a very like,
American Pickers, the show.
Yes.
Is my
that
dad.
Vibe about him.
That's my dad.
Where he'll just like pick something out and be like, oh, that's expensive, but it's like $5. And he'll buy it and then resell. So in your field, it is an interesting thing. Like, are you that way? Like when you're out and about online, scrolling, walk in, boom, something's on the shelf. Like, is that how you kind of like, it feels like maybe life is constantly like we'll see what I find today.
Yeah.
You know, is that kind of how you are?
Absolutely. Yeah. That's part of it. You develop a sense which is based on like just repetitious knowledge.
Yeah. For sure.
You're looking for the same thing and you're finding it. You know what its value, you sold it, so you know it has this value, or at least it did.
Right.
And so, it's kind of just like this constant triangulation. Yeah. The race car thing is interesting because people will get into like a specific niche in the book business. And, the book selling thing is sort of tangentially related to like photo dealers and like postcard, like all these different dealers of different kinds of paper that I kind of foray into once in a while. And then, everyone has their own things, but sure. So you sell something once and you know that if you find it again, chances are maybe you can sell it again. But if you find something that you don't really know what it is, but you know sort of where it fits into culture generally and into history, And, you take gambles and, like, you'll buy something like, oh, wow, this looks really interesting and strange. I'm going to just buy it for $10 and see, maybe this is a rare thing. And then you get home and you didn't do your research before you bought it. So it's like, oh, this is actually a $5 book and 100 other people are selling it right now. So it's not worth anything and you're just going to take the loss. But after that happens enough, and it still happens, or you look into it on the fly, like when you're there.
Yeah.
You do some research. But yeah, ideally you get sort of a sense just based on experience, which I'm still developing, because there are people who have been in the business for 50 years walking around doing the same thing that just through trial and error and study have kind of gotten it down.
Sure.
Yeah.
It is really neat.
That is really, really cool. I love that. So, okay, so you have the shop.
Yep.
Obviously, that's most of what you do. I'm sure, like, you close for the day, but you probably still, like, are always looking, always kind of reading or doing your thing.
Yep.
Would you say?
Yeah, it's brutal, but it's kind of like even on my days off when I'm closed, at least one of those days is going to be me going to look for books. So it's not really a day off, but it's also what I would be doing if I didn't have the shop.
Right.
So it doesn't really matter.
Just doing what you love, you're just doing it for a business purpose.
Yeah.
At the same time.
And so, like, when you're like, so your day, you wake up on your day off, obviously you do whatever you do, but like where do you go? Like, where, like, and I don't even mean to give like your things away, but like sure. And you don't have to say exactly, but just like, do you like have a kind of a set of shops that you're like, I'm gonna go check out what they got today, or like, do I scroll? You're scrolling through a certain, I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
Where do you go?
I mean, usually I limit myself to like within 2 hours of here, because otherwise I don't want to drive 4 or 5 hours in a day.
Right.
No, too far.
So I'll go. I have like a couple little like routes I'll do, like out toward the center of the state, or I'll go out to Jersey. Yeah. Sometimes I'll drive up to New York, but that's rare. And yeah, I just like have people there that I'll say, maybe I'll give them a heads up that I'm coming by, or maybe I'll just pop in. Sometimes like flea markets, other bookshops, just all kinds of stuff. So it's kind of limited to what's open when I'm closed, which is not much because a lot of people have the same off days. Mm-hmm. So
sure.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of, I'll just make a little itinerary for the day and go. It's fun. Mm-hmm. It's kind of got to be done alone though, because nobody has the same, except like other booksellers, but then you're kind of like in this sort of like the sort of soft competition.
Yeah.
With, even if you're not looking for the same thing, it's kind of like, it's still fun, but it's fun in a different way. Mm-hmm. So, but like anybody not in the business, you go with them and it's like, it feels like you're torturing them kind of, or like you're subjecting them to this endurance test or something. Whereas like, I'll spend 4 hours here. Like it doesn't, and it's nothing.
Yeah.
But to them, it's like, they look at the one section they're interested in and then they're like, okay.
Yeah. Ready to go.
And I've learned over the years that it's better to just go alone. Which, that's normal, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Market research,
That's right.
That's cool. And so something we were just talking about a minute ago, which I thought was also interesting as well. And if you have any questions, you by all means chime in. But you mentioned Instagram, obviously being like a big piece of what you're doing. What's that about? So like where, obviously like, sure, people come in physically, they can come to the shop, but like there is something obviously special where your business is also run through social media.
Yeah.
How has that been for you? What's that about?
It's,
even though you also probably hate it to some degree, like you said.
Yeah, no, it's tough because you develop this following, and it's really the only way to do that. Except, in the old days, it was all mail order, and so you just develop a clientele through the mail,
right?
And which took years. And so now I've done what probably would have taken booksellers decades. It's taken me not decades, but at the same time, it's not the same level of people. Like, it's to follow somebody on social media is not the same as like reaching out to them and being like, hey, I want you to mail me your catalog every month when you put it out. It's more like, I'm just interested. This is a cool thing. I see that X is following this account, so I'm going to follow it too. Mm-hmm. So it's maybe less impressive to have a lot of followers than it is to have a big mailing list. But at the same time, it's so wide, and your stuff can like take off in these really weird ways. Like sometimes I'll post a book and, you know, a bunch of people will see it and they'll share it and stuff because it's some weird thing, or the cover's interesting, or they think it's funny, and then I'll get a bunch of followers, and, you know, people will drop off. Like, it's kind of just this weird machine that kind of runs. But you do have to abide by these rules that are set by sort of strange people, like these sort of strange figures in the world now that are sort of deciding what is permissible in society. So there's just certain things that I want to sell that I don't think are morally wrong or actually bad, but that they won't let me post.
Sure.
And so it's just like kind of like, so you feel like you're being boxed in by somebody who doesn't share your own moral system.
Sure.
And so that's tough. And that's why the catalogs are nice, because I can put anything I want in there.
Right.
And
your shop too.
And the shop, sure. But yeah, you do. I mean, when you sell older books that are kind of weird, you do have to be careful because things have changed.
Yeah, it's true.
But also that's part of what's interesting about them is the discrepancy between then and now. So yeah, that's like, I mean, my biggest issue is the uncertainty with something like Instagram, where it's like, really, they can just get rid of your account for no reason, and they don't ever have to explain it to you.
Yeah.
So that does feel a bit hostage-like.
Sure.
But
so with I've met your dad.
Yeah.
And he's a potter.
He is.
And he's an amazing artist, and obviously that runs in your family of like creativity to a degree.
Yeah.
Since you like English and books and creative things too. It just like kind of all makes sense. So did you kind of grow up in that same way, like reading a lot, interested more in literature, books kind of things, and then you fell into the business side of it all? Or did you really kind of grow up saying like, I want to own a business, I'm just not sure what it's going to be? Like, which way was it for you?
I think I started writing. I write poems and books. So it started that way. It started where I was writing and reading a lot in order to write better. And so it started that way as a consumer. And then I always kind of thought that some creative thing would be my path in life, but it was not going to be art. I have no, I mean, maybe I have the ideas for it, but I don't have the physical skill or the will to make myself have that skill.
No desire,
Yeah, I just can't, I mean, I don't want to practice.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I tried music for a while, like in high school, I was in bands and stuff, but writing is always the thing that came easiest. And so through writing and through familiarizing myself with that tradition of poetry mostly, I kind of slowly developed an understanding of the history of publishing in that form, and that, you know, kind of just slowly spiraled into the whole thing. Yeah. So yeah, growing up in a family that, I guess, I don't know what the word would be, prioritizes maybe art and creativity and that kind of thing is definitely not insignificant. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He's a potter, my dad. Yeah.
Very good potter too.
Yeah,
cool.
Absolutely, for sure. I love that you guys get to like kind of work together too, because he mainly does his pottery thing mostly, right?
He's retired.
He's retired. Yeah, he was an art teacher.
Okay.
High school art, and now he's just doing the pottery, and you know, it's not a job, but
I got you.
Yeah,
for sure.
But he's been doing it forever. Yeah,
absolutely. And then do you have a mother?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. You do, right? But like, is
I've
she
met
like
his mom too?
Okay.
Yeah.
Never met her, so I wasn't sure where she was or whatever. But that's cool. Okay, very cool. And what does she do?
She's also retired. She was doing like floral design and running a floral design like gift shop for a long time.
More creative things.
Yeah, although I would say she's probably where I get, if I have it, like more business sense type stuff.
Okay.
If I have it, yeah.
He's still trying to figure that out.
Yeah. Well, you're doing it. I mean, you got this business here. You've been there
I'm trying.
4 years now.
Yeah, it'll be
right?
4 years in July. I'm going to have a 4th anniversary party. I've been doing that every year so far, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I get music and, it's kind of fun. Another thing about the shop is I try to have events sometimes.
Yeah.
I can't do much, but music-wise, because I can't really have a band in there. But I can have like a solo or like a trio type thing. Yeah. So, I've been trying to do that.
Cool.
Yeah.
So outside of the shop, what do you do for fun? Anything?
No, it all relates back to the shop, which is
it's kind of like this weirdly, it's like a weird obsession kind of thing.
What else do I do?
I mean, you said you podcast.
Oh yeah, right.
That's
right. I have a podcast called Consensus on Reality. It's about like UFOs and esoteric things with my friend Dave. We've been doing that for like 5 years.
Nice.
It's fun. We just kind of talk about weird stuff and
relating back to like the books and the
for sure. Yeah, we talk about books a lot. And
things that you read.
Yes.
So
yeah.
It is very much
too.
of a niche. Like the whole outlet of all of it too.
It's
something I'm not very well versed in, but it is interesting to me. Like all of it in general is kind of like
it's fun stuff. I mean, it is a niche, but at the same time, the shop does try to have like some stuff. I hope that people can just kind of be like, oh yeah, this is something I should read, or art books. You know, like things that'll just look nice in a house.
Sure.
Like
table stuff.
I love that. Do you live nearby? Are you like in the area? Not too far.
Allentown, yeah.
Allentown, okay.
I'm trying to find a place. I mean, I'd love to live around here just to to cut the commute down.
Sure.
But not that it's long, but it's everybody's like stereotype dream to have like a bookstore that they live above or something.
Sure.
They like walk to.
Yeah.
So, but if that ever happens,
small town vibes.
We don't know.
Sure. So you mainly just do your thing.
Mainly.
Okay, love that. Any like.
So what's the future?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the
goal?
The goal.
Or the next step, I guess.
Just like where you're headed, what are
you doing?
I'm gonna keep trying to dig deeper into the hyper-specific, like antiquarian, weird side of the shop. Try to build that up and in some way make my presence known within that very established and old and interesting community and tradition.
For sure.
I don't know. I guess everybody always feels this way throughout history, but I don't feel particularly like I have a lot of time. So I'm kind of just trying to keep the shop going and work on making it as good as it can possibly be, which is, I don't know. Yeah, people like it, which is nice and very reassuring. And the people that I want to connect with have come in, and I'm very happy with how it's going. Although I'd always like more money, but
don't we all?
Yeah.
That's a common theme amongst most business owners.
Or even like, I mean, you guys, it's probably very different having a place with employees.
Yeah.
Which I'm a little jealous of, but also grateful not to like.
It has its pros and cons.
Yeah, no, it seems great, and then at the same time, I'd love to kind of like introduce someone to like the weird sort of business that I'm in. So it's on the horizon. Maybe that's like something I'm looking forward to is someday eventually having like an employee who isn't my dad helping me out sometimes.
Have somebody be able to sit there so you can go and these other places that are closed, you can go on and day they're open.
And I do have friends who will watch the shop once in a while, but it would be cool. Like a lot of businesses like mine will start as like a partnership or something where it's two people.
Yeah.
Right.
They may be like a couple or they may just be two people who are similarly inclined and we'll just kind of start the business.
Sure.
So starting it by myself is, it's a lot, but it's also, it's nice. It's allowed the shop to be very specific.
Yeah, of course. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
I also wanted to quickly ask, because our coffee shop is definitely like one of Mandy's favorite things to do, / probably our favorite thing to do is like just to like travel. We enjoy like the scene, just like, especially as business owners, you can get into these like rhythms where you're like, before you know it, months, years will go by and you're like, wow, I haven't left. Like I'm here, so, but you recently went to California.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yep.
Can you quickly just share with us like how that was, what that was about, why you went, all these things, whatever, just because it's interesting. Like,
sure.
Our shop, it kind of is like likes to promote travel, and like the whole concept of let's go is like, let's go. Yeah. Like wherever that might be. So for you, it was California. What was that trip about, and what was that like for you?
Yeah. I mean, since I opened the shop, I have not really gone maybe more than 300 miles from here.
Yeah, sure.
I was, I'll go up to Massachusetts sometimes. I'll go to Jersey, New York, but I had a few friends out there people from the business, but also people I've known for years. And I just thought it would be nice to get out there, while at the same time kind of setting an itinerary of like weird stuff to see.
For sure.
Which there's a lot of I went to LA, so there's a lot of weird spiritual sites and kind of counterculture places that I'd always wanted to see. David Lynch's grave is out there. He just died, obviously, and so I went to that. Not necessarily a big graveyard guy, but I went to a couple graveyards out there. Mm-hmm. Don't know why, but
it's all right. It's all good.
Beautiful out there. Yeah. Maybe they're like, maybe it's the weather, but they're just able to be like these crazy grand places.
Yeah.
Where here it's a bit more on the East Coast. It's a bit more like traditional, and just like like
gray.
This is just dead people.
Yeah, boring.
Yeah,
big old boneyard.
Yeah. So I saw some friends, saw some sites, but of course, it really ended up being just a business trip. I was really just buying stuff.
Of course.
And shipping it home. And that's it. Like, it was kind of crazy. I tried not to do that. Mm-hmm. But I landed and I was like, well, let's just go to the first bookstore and
see what we see.
Yeah. And that was it. So I spent, 60% of my time there doing that.
Nice.
But I like to travel too.
It's a change of scenery, though, too. So even just going to another bookstore, it's going to be different because maybe something you've never seen before, a new place to go check out. So
for sure.
Something new to see. So
I really liked it out there. Mm-hmm. I hadn't been since I was like a teenager, and it just felt really nice. Mm-hmm. And I'm a Sagittarius, and they say that the traveling is an important part of that astrological sign if you believe in those things. Mm-hmm. So I liked it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
It was fun.
That's good.
That is really cool.
Kind of refueled a little bit at that point.
Yeah. And then also kind of made me feel alienated coming back here. But I like it here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and you have the niche here. It is its own thing. It's very specific. So it's like, even though it can be very alienating and potentially like lonely, it's very specific. So it's...
Yeah, no, people come from far and wide. In some cases, people do take like trips to my shop, which is very humbling and cool.
Yeah.
Partly from the Instagram, which is cool.
Yeah.
Just like people I've known from there for years, and then partly from, I don't know, just like word of mouth, which has led to some really weird things happening, weird coincidences.
Yeah.
So
that's great.
I'm happy here where I am. Yeah.
Cool.
So before we close things out, I just have to ask, unless you have something else, but I just had to quickly ask this. From our perspective, we're over here doing this coffee thing, and all of a sudden, Ben walks in down the stairs, and we all know he's going to get an iced Americano, most likely a peanut butter chocolate chip cookie. But I just have to ask from your perspective, what's it like on your end? Like what's it like having a coffee shop here that you like to come to?
Yeah.
Like, you're also gluten-free, is that?
I am,
You are. Okay,
yeah,
interesting.
That's been very helpful for me. It's like And it happened within the last year and a half. Just like,
wow.
Like, boom, I just can't eat it anymore. Which is, its own whole saga. But
sure.
So, yeah, kind of a really nice coincidence that you guys opened here in this, in this place that is literally within, spitting distance or something.
Stone's throw away over here.
Like, yeah, you could spit far.
Yeah.
It's just about there.
We can literally see your shop out our window, one window. We can see your front door of the bookstore.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
No, it's great. It's nice. It's helpful, and I think it brings people into town too, which is cool.
For sure.
I've been here like 4 years now, and things come and go. I'm hoping not to be one of them, and
likewise.
It's kind of like, it always helps when there's more stuff down here, and the more diverse, the better. Having the game shop down the street is great.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I love all the weird little things that have ended up popping up down here. It's great. And it's nice to have gluten-free stuff here.
Yeah.
Never thought that I would end up being in that camp, but you can't really choose.
And then, we're right next to you here, so
yeah,
it's very
great.
Convenient as well.
Yeah.
Which is great. But so how can people find you? So they want to follow you on social media, websites. Like, how would they be able to search you and find your stuff?
And also, like, quickly, a little plug as well to that point, like a plug of like who like is what people might be looking for. Like, obviously it's bookstore, I get it, but like what people might find with you specifically, like what they if they're looking for something specific or whatever that might be. But.
Yeah, if they're looking for, the idea of the shop is that you come into the shop maybe with an idea of what you want, and you kind of end up just spending time there and finding something that sets you off on this new path toward a new interest or a new sort of passion or obsession.
Sure.
So it's kind of like, I hope that people come in and just walk away with, the more the better, but at least one thing where it's something that they didn't know they wanted, or they've wanted for a long time but forgot about. Specifically, I don't know, like art, poetry, literature. I have a lot of psychology, anything that kind of like delves into the weirder side of human life, and animal life, plant life too. I got stuff like that.
Sure.
I don't know. Yeah, science, all that stuff. And you can find me on Instagram as Apport Used Books. The website's samething.com. That is still under construction. Eventually, we'll have a shop function there.
Sure. Yeah.
But not yet.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to use like one of the ready-made things. I'm trying to have like my own shop as opposed to using like one of the platforms.
Sure.
So it's taken a while, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty much on Instagram. I'm posting 5 or 6 books a day. It's a lot. Sometimes people don't see any of them because of the way that is structured. But if you just go to the profile and scroll, you'll kind of see the kind of stuff I have to offer. And if it's for you, that's cool. If it's not, the shop itself might still have something that you like.
Yeah.
And if not, it's all right.
No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens.
It's an interesting find for sure. So,
it is.
So come by next time you're in Emmaus. Stop by the bookstore. Say hi to Ben. Let him know you listen to the podcast. And and then just say hi. Grab a cup of coffee. Go walk around the bookstore and hang out.
Or grab a book and come have a cup of coffee.
Grab a book and come grab a cup of coffee. Yeah, whatever.
In whatever order is good for you.
Either option works just fine. So thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
And
dude, for sure.
We'll see you guys next time.
See you on the next one.
Yeah.
Bye.
Great.